Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, my name is Vinny Apicella, and I am here with you for another edition of the most electrifying podcast in audio and video internet today, The Sports Wire. Again, like I said, my name is Vinny Apicella, and we are here today. Today is Sunday, September, 5th? Sunday, September 6th, 2020, the day after AEW's All Out, which I did not watch. Like I've said before, WWE Network has kind of spoiled us to the fact of getting all the pay-per-views for $9.99 a month. I wasn't going to pay $50 to watch AEW's All Out. However, I'm kind of glad I did, just judging by the feedback that I've been seeing on Twitter, that it was a very bad pay-per-view. Just some of the highlights that I saw with Matt Sydal coming back for the Casino Battle Royale. You can't really call it call a botch a bad thing. I mean, it is a bad thing, but you know what? Botches do happen, and, well, it is what it is. You really can't fault the guy for, you slip, whatever it is, and it is what it is. Matt Hardy, on the other hand, against Sammy Guevara in the, just getting a text from somebody who I'm trying to actually coax it to be my new co-host, so kind of keep that in mind. But anyways, Sammy Guevara, Matt Hardy in their Broken Rules match took a horrible fall off of a scissor lift. Matt Hardy almost going completely over the table, hitting his head on the concrete. A lot of controversy surrounding that. Apparently, the doctor, Doc Sampson, who worked for the WWE at one point, and I think he was the one with all the controversy surrounding CM Punk, and that supposedly undiagnosed staph infection. Ref Aubrey put up the X and everything, but then apparently Hardy said he was okay to go, and Sampson let him go on. Then was taken to a local medical facility or hospital to get CAT scans or X-rays, MRIs, and all that. Conflicting reports. Tony Khan saying that all the tests came back negative for concussion. Rebby Hardy, Matt Hardy's wife, saying that he had 1,000% he had a concussion, and that was from as I said, AEW's All Out. But it's strange because you would think that, number one, you would think that his wife would know more than Tony Khan, but at the same time, was Rebby down in Florida? Or was she home with the kids? And, she's just going by what she feels or whatever. I don't know. I don't know the whole story. I don't know. I can't tell. Like I said, I did not watch it. However, with that said, I don't feel like the match should have continued if that happens, especially because Ref Aubrey threw up the X. Usually whenever you see a referee go like this with the X, it means that something major happened, real. Somebody really got hurt. And to use that in a match should have ended it right there. But they went by Matt Hardy's word, apparently, and, or what have you. That match should have been stopped. I also saw the ending of the Mimosa Mayhem match on Twitter. Orange Cassidy defeated Chris Jericho. And I got to give it to Jericho. I get it. I understand you want to make new characters, make new people. But Orange Cassidy is not, I don't know. And I've said it before. He won me over briefly, but he still has that nonchalant attitude that, put your hands in your pockets with the light kicks and this and that and the other thing. Come on now. It's different, I get it, but you have to kind of prove that you deserve to be there. If Jericho's going to put you over, but then again, Jericho is not, he's part of all petite wrestling right now, you know what I mean? But if Jericho's going to be willing to put you over, you got to change up that gimmick a little bit. You know what I mean? I get it. I'm kind of glad that, he was able to talk somewhat now, especially during that debate with Bischoff and Jericho, which was actually pretty cool. But at the same time, he's not somebody that's really main event material, at least in my opinion. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, a lot of people like him. He's over, but he's only over with the AEW fan base. The indie fan base. Because that's exactly what it is. It's an indie fan base because that's where the majority of AEW's talent came from, is the indie scene. With the exception of Cody, with the exception of Moxley, with the exception of Brody Lee coming over from the WWE, you know what I mean? Like, everybody else came from the indies. And yes, I consider, the Bucks and Omega coming from New Japan, but then again, they've done a lot. They've done majorly indies. They haven't been, Omega was in the WWE developmental system for a time, but then left. The Bucks were in Impact for a while, but everything else is indie. New Japan's not necessarily indie, but it doesn't have the big fan base in America. So outside of Cody, Jericho, Moxley, Brody Lee, you can even say Brian Cage and Lance Archer, but outside of that, even Brian Cage was, indie, but, Impact. But, bringing in FTR, obviously, other than that, everybody's indie. So that indie fan base is what likes Orange Cassidy. Mainstream fans or, older school wrestling fans who like the story and everything and like to watch a good match, that he's not appealing. If somebody who hasn't watched wrestling in a long time happens to turn on TNT during Dynamite and they see a guy with his hands in his pockets giving a light kick to somebody and the crowd reacting like it's, big time, what the hell is this crap? You know what I mean? But it is what it is. So Orange Cassidy beats Jericho in the Mimosa Mayhem. I know that Jon Moxley did retain his title against MJF. I don't know. I didn't see the match, obviously, but I heard that's what happened. I also heard that FTR are the new AEW Tag Team Champions. They defeated Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. Thank God. Hopefully I really hope they go into a feud, and I want to see Hangman join up with FTR, with Tully and Shawn Spears, and a new group. You know what I mean? That would be awesome. But out of everything, Hangman Page is the only star. Adam Page is the only star that AEW has actually created this whole time. And that's pretty much it. I want to see more stars get made. I want to see more people get into that really good wrestling bubble. That really good upper echelon, but it's not. Like, and here's the thing, is like, you look at AEW, okay? Granted, they're a startup, okay? They've only been around for a little less than a year, or a little over a year. I mean, Dynamite's been on for 11 months right now. But the entire organization technically been around since Double or Nothing last year, so a little over a year, okay? And they're startups, so you're not going to have the big splash, you know what I mean? So I get it why they went to a different night, why they didn't go up against Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown, but that's what they're trying to get to. Like, that's their major league, is Dynamite, for and they're competing with basically the WWE's developmental NXT, and they're not winning, all the time in the ratings, which ratings don't matter so much. It all depends, because you don't know how many people go back and forth and are being counted multiple times. Then you have the demos, but it is what it is. I just happen to think there's just too much wrestling on. Friday Night SmackDown, I just got done watching it. Really great episode. I liked Paul Heyman's promo with Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns doesn't have to talk much now. He just has to kind of, put in his 2 cents, and that's it. Which is a better pairing with Paul Heyman than Brock Lesnar was. Because Brock Lesnar couldn't talk. Reigns at least can talk. But at least you got Heyman there, who's got those creative promos. You could have Heyman cut a great promo, Reigns say 2 or 3 words, and that's it. And it's beauty. It's awesome. So Reigns is the Universal Champion. He did win at Payback, as you all know by now. And going on to Clash of Champions later this month, it's going to be Jey Uso against Roman Reigns. Jey Uso winning the Fatal 4-Way #1 Contenders match on SmackDown after Big E got attacked by Sheamus, which I like Big E. I really think Big E is going to do great. I want to see him get a title run, but he's got to get away from the New Day. He's got to get back to that character where it was a 5 count. I get it. It didn't work at the beginning. The muscle-bound guy. It didn't work at the beginning. He wasn't over. He wasn't being used. But now that he's over with the New Day gimmick, now it's time to break him off. And, let him go to his singles run. You know what I mean? Xavier Woods is hurt, and he's, just coming back for Talking Smack. Kofi Kingston is hurt. So now it's time to break the New Day gimmick and not have Big E roll to the ring, or put on those unicorn heads or whatever. I mean, when Kofi Kingston had the title last year, his title run was not memorable. I mean, it was great that he won. He finally got the title after being there for 12 years or whatever. But throughout, he used the belt as a holder for pancakes. You know what I mean? Like it's a comedy gimmick. The New Day is a comedy gimmick. When Kofi won the title at WrestleMania from Daniel Bryan, it was a great night, and I get it. It was fantastic. I cheered. I liked that, but he wasn't a main event champion. Because you saw that. He goes into the first SmackDown on Fox against Brock Lesnar, and Lesnar wins in 15 seconds with an F5. That's it. That's the kind of champion, no nonsense. And I get there's going to be different kinds of champions. There's going to be different characters, different. I get that. Okay? But in order to be a world champion, the Fiend, when he has the title, he's someone you could believe is a champion. Braun Strowman, Roman Reigns, Goldberg. You know what I mean? Even Finn Balor. But I could not get behind Kofi Kingston. And it has nothing to do with race, so get that out of your minds. Okay? Has nothing to do with that, because I think Big E is a fantastic talent, but he's just got to get over that comedy gimmick. You got to be serious. You got to be focused on something. So, yeah. All right, so that was that. Coming up tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw, from what I heard, is a triple threat match to see who's going to face Drew McIntyre at Clash of Champions for the title. I don't know who's going to be in it. Paul Heyman just kind of mentioned it on Friday night on SmackDown, so we'll see where that goes. But I actually got into the Thunderdome, so my call time is 10:30, which the show ends at 11, so what's the point of that, and it's first come, first serve, apparently, so it's like, what, am I going to be able to get in? Like, why is there a call time of 10:30 instead of 8 o'clock, or 7:30, or, you know what I mean? So it is Labor Day. How many people are going to be sitting at their computers watching, but I got in, so we'll see. I'm hopeful that I can get into the Thunderdome tomorrow night, and, obviously the SportsWire background won't be back behind me because they don't want to promote any third parties, but I will be on the Thunderdome. I guarantee it. So that's that. Okay. Let's see. Anything else to go over? There's a lot of wrestling on, obviously. NXT from this past week. I really wanted to see a champion at the end of the Fatal 4-Way 60-minute Iron Man match, but I get it. You know what I mean? They have it set now. It was a tie between Finn Balor and Adam Cole. Baby. Great booking. All right? The 4 top guys, Iron Man 60-minute match. Of course you can get a tie. And this way, it wasn't a 4-way tie. It was only a 2-way tie. So now, next week, this coming Super Tuesday, remember, next NXT's on Tuesday again this week. You're going to have Adam Cole against Finn Balor. Winner becomes the NXT champion. That'll be, the second time for both of the guys, whoever wins. And I want to see that. I really do. I'm really high on Damian Priest. I really like the fact that he won the North American title at TakeOver. I want to see where they're going with that. I'm big on Bronson Reed. Kind of sucked that he got beat by Timothy Thatcher on this past Wednesday night, or this past NXT. Unfortunately, he did, but it was not without controversy as Austin Theory interfered, the returning Austin Theory, which I think is great that he's back in NXT, that he's actually in NXT, because you got to remember, Austin Theory came over from Evolve. He didn't, he's a great champion there, but he made his debut at WrestleMania in a tag team match with Andrade because Angel Garza was out. Or was it the other way? No, with Angel Garza because Andrade was out. Something like that. I think that's what it was. And then he became part of that group, but then he was with Seth's group. So he really never has had a chance to really grow and build his character. So now that he's back with, now that he's with NXT, I look for that to go over. Let's see, MLW. I don't normally cover them, but they are coming back now. The return, the relaunch, I guess, after COVID. So MLW will be coming back. Impact on this past Tuesday. I talked about it on Wednesday, so I apologize that I think I went over it. So that it's a pretty good thing. I like Eric Young winning the World Championship from Eddie Edwards. Eric Young is a great guy. WWE squandered him, but you know what? You got to think about it this way. I mean, when you're at that age, and I think Eric Young's in his 40s or whatever, and not saying that's old nowadays by any means, because look at guys like Goldberg, The Undertaker, AJ Styles is in his 40s as well. But you got to look at it this way. At that age, you should be helping to work with other talents. And don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean you're going to be cut. You're going to be cut from the championship pictures. But you shouldn't have to worry about getting titles. Focus on the younger guys. So if you're going to get a big time contract at the WWE, definitely, help out where you can. He was released this past April, whatever, goes back to Impact, and now he's the world champion. So, hey, it works out. I would love to see Heath Slater. I love seeing Heath on Impact. He's going to make a great tag team again with Rhino. I look at Rhino. He's been wrestling for over 20 years. Started in ECW at over 20 years now. Final ever ECW World and Television Champion in the original ECW, not the WWE ECW. But and now he's back with Impact. So I like to see them team up. Heath is a fantastic talent, and he does the free agent gimmick so well. That's for your Impact. There's the logo for you. There's your Impact report, and that's about it. I mean, other than going, if you want to get into General Hospital a bit, we found out that Taggart is still alive, and he faked his death. His daughter is obviously Trina. She doesn't know. Only Jordan knows, and then Jason and Sonny now, because Jason found him after he was shot by Julian Jerome, who was it's like Taggart was trying to save Mel because he saw a woman held at gunpoint, not realizing that Mel was kidnapping the baby. So Julian was trying to stop her from doing that. But they didn't even mention that. Like he just said, I got shot. I don't remember who was there or whatever. Because if he told Sonny, he would have been like, you idiot. You know what I mean? He would have probably put Taggart on Sonny's hit list. But either way, he's still alive. He's in hiding. His death was faked. And, if he comes back, he'll probably be, tried for fraud, defrauding Cyrus Renault, because that's the whole storyline that's going on right now. Poor Alexis finally getting together with Neil, and the first night they spend together, he dies in her bed, in his sleep, supposedly, respiratory failure. He overdosed. So that's a new twist. We didn't know anything about him having a history of substance abuse. So we'll see how that turns out. Now Alexis is in. She might be in trouble. I mean, if the cops want to search her place for any kind of drugs, which who knows if anything was planted or whatever. Who knows? But that kind of sucked for her. I feel really badly. Looks like Spinelli finally has the dirt on Peter, with Peter making the phone call from Brando's garage at the end of Friday's episode, but being on surveillance that Jason had set up earlier to kind of see if Brando was working with Cyrus, which we found out that he wasn't. He was attacked by Cyrus's guys. So we'll see how it comes down next week. Tomorrow being Monday, there's going to be no episode because of the holiday. So Tuesday is the new one. It's only a 4-day week for General Hospital this week. The only other thing I could say is get out there and vote. I prefer you vote Republican, vote for President Trump, because, well, without voting for Trump, if you're going to vote for Biden and he gets in, you can kiss our country goodbye, unfortunately, because the radical left and the leftist idiots out there, the liberals, the Democrats are just out to ruin our country. As you can see with Antifa and Black Lives Matter and all the riots that are going on, they are just arms of the Democrats, and so many people are being indoctrinated into those groups without realizing what they're standing for. They think they're standing for social justice, but the fact is there's no reason for social justice protests in this country. Is everything equal? No, it isn't. But at the same time, you got to think about that. There's no such thing as white privilege, okay? The problem is so many people want to blame white privilege, supposedly, the excuse, white privilege being an excuse when parents of other cultures, other races don't want to take advantage of the opportunities or work to get the opportunities that are available for them. They want to sit back and have anything handed to them, and that's why they say white privilege. They don't realize that white people, no, and I'm not going to say white people. It doesn't, they don't realize that people have to work to get where they are. So when they blame white people for white privilege, it's because those people work. But there's plenty of white people in the same boat as black people, low income or whatever, and black people in the same boat as white people that are, rich and well off. It's because it's separated between the people who work for what they have and the people who don't want to work and want to have everything handed to them. Again, separated between Republicans and Democrats, conservatives and liberals. And even that's kind of shaky because there are many conservatives that have the conservative values but don't want to work. There's many liberals who have liberal values but work their ass off. So I'm not going to say that too badly. But that's about it for today. Again, my name is Vinny Apsella. Thank you for watching today. Thank you for listening. All right, you could follow me on Twitter at VApsella, follow the SportsWire on Twitter at SportsWire Audio. Go to sportswireaudio.com. That brings you to our anchor.fm page. You can also go to youtube.com/SportsWireSWE. That'll bring you to our YouTube page, obviously. This episode brought to you by Jody's Cup of Health. That is all natural ingredients for all natural products for health and wellness. Also, Francesco Barone's guitar gigs and his I guess his gigs, his lessons. There we go. There's the word I was thinking of. His lessons. So go ahead. The Firefly Flow Troop, of course. Those links are in the comment section below. Thank you for joining us. I will be back next week. I was supposed to have a guest on an interview on Friday. She never showed. She never called. She never acknowledged my invitation for the Zoom chat. So sucks to be her, right? Anyways, my name is Vinny Apsella. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I will see you later on this week. Enjoy your Labor Day weekend. on the Sports Wire.